And I'll give you one closing example. I believe we need a profound fight about religious liberty. I believe that fight became unavoidable when the Ninth Circuit Court ruled that saying one nation under God as part of the pledge was unconstitutional. I believe it is a sign of a fascist mentality that the ACLU has filed a lawsuit about a cross in the middle of the Mojave Desert. I mean, the idea that a cross in the middle of the desert is a threat to the mindset of secular fanatics tells you almost everything you need to know. And I'm a historian, so my reaction to this is to read history. In 1802, the Jeffersonians passed the Judiciary Act of 1802. Jefferson knew a fair amount about the Constitution. Madison knew vastly more. They were both in the administration. The Judiciary Act of 1802 abolishes 18 out of 35 federal judges. Doesn't impeach them, abolishes them. Says, we're not paying you. You can't go to, there's no court. Several of them said this was inappropriate, it's a lifetime appointment. They went to the remaining 17 judges to file suit, and the remaining 17 judges said, have you lost your mind? If I accept the suit, they're going to abolish my court. This is, by the way, precisely what Hamilton and Madison wrote in the Federalist Papers, that any time the weakest of the three branches takes on the two elected branches, if the two elected branches are serious, they will in fact guarantee the defeat of the judicial branch. Now, as many of you know, I am a moderate. So I would only propose not to abolish over half of all the judges, which is what Jefferson did. I would merely propose to abolish the Ninth Circuit and re-recruit. Because if we're serious, that's the right reaction. You show me a judge so ignorant they believe that it's unconstitutional to say one nation under God, I'll show you a judge who shouldn't be drawing money from the taxpayers. It's a very straightforward relationship. And remember, in closing, the reason I wrote a wonderful book that Gay helped inspire at Mount Vernon, To Try Men's Souls, is because we thought, when we sat down and discussed it a year and a half ago, that we would get to a point where we'd have high unemployment, foreign enemies, and a radical administration. And people would want to know, what is it Americans once did? And how is it we became American? And on Christmas Day, 1776, Washington's army had collapsed from 30,000 Brooklyn in September to 2,500. Less than 1 out of every 1,000 Americans had the courage to be with Washington on Christmas Day. Of that 2,500, 1/3 did not have boots. They wrapped their feet in burlap and they left a trail of blood marching the 9 miles to Trenton. Washington decided to cross an icy river at night in a snowstorm, to march at night to surprise 800 professional German soldiers, win a surprise victory, capture all 800, and reestablish the legitimacy of the revolution. 2 weeks later, he had 15,000 volunteers. The password that night was victory or death. I want you to go from here after this weekend and look every successful person you know in the eye, and look every patriot you know in the eye and tell them there are young men and women risking their lives all around this planet in uniform, in the State Department, in the intelligence community, so we can be free. Don't tell me how much you've given. Don't tell me how tired you are. Don't tell me how frustrating it is. This country was created by people who are willing to say victory or death while marching in burlap bags in the middle of a snowstorm. We're going to have to find those people again. We're going to have to run people for 513,000 offices in both parties. We're going to have to isolate and crush the secular socialist left, and we're going to have to replace their failed system with systems that succeed. This is work George Washington would have approved of. And this is work you need to take seriously for the next 3 years so we can give our children and grandchildren the greatest, freest, and most prosperous country in history. Thank you very, very much.